and everything's wet. So everything's wet. Hold on. Wait. Really try. I know it's all right. I know y'all should apologize for y'all's fly. Those Houston flies, you know how they are. Always want the spotlight. And I thought flies don't live long, and they live so long. Thank you. Trying to dodge it. God, I almost got it. If someone walked in right now, it looks like this is what the show is. Like it's just, this is how far, like we have Wi-Fi's down. We're now just paying to watch a man try to slap a fly. And like a lot of people show up. It's pretty fun, you know, like it goes. When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I had it happen. I went on a hike with a comedian. So we're out there, we're trekking along, and it was a little chilly that day, so we walk by this turtle, and then there's a pond, and so the turtle jumps in the water. So right when the turtle jumped in the water, I was like, I bet when he got in that water, he was like, woo, it's cold today. Yeah, I don't know what I wanted out of that. And he was like, well, turtles are cold-blooded, so it probably just feels like bath water. And I had to say, okay. And the day was ruined. I mean, you don't just go back to having fun. Now it's weird. I haven't talked to him since that day, to be honest. Last thing I said to him was that day, and I just go, sorry about that turtle stuff. I had a fly keep hitting me in Houston.
Did it land on you?
Oh, yeah. It was like on me and then kept, you know. Flies are tough.
I have a tennis racket at home. It's electrified in the middle.
Yeah.
And it'll zap them as you hit them. Right
Zap
away.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about a fan. I was like, if you could get some kind of fan up there just around you, like blowing a little bit, because doesn't that usually stop them? They can't fly on a fan.
Maybe you just have a guy with a Zap It racket.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Just like one of those guys that get the tennis balls.
Yeah.
That sits, that runs across back and
Chase.
forth.
Chase could do it.
Bzz. And I go, look, he'll be coming up quite often. I don't like to address it.
Try to
What a
ignore
fun
him.
special that will be.
Yeah.
Like you're just telling jokes. Here comes a guy. Zip. And
Yeah.
it's just like, Zap It. You could call the special that.
Zap it.
Zap It.
Yeah. I don't know if you do a full hour. Probably do, 5-minute special.
One of my old Spectracide bosses came out and we hung out. And,
Yeah.
Oh, and I ran into a Scots rep outside of the, we took a picture outside of the Tampa Theater. And I still felt a little hate for the guy. I don't even know him, but he worked for the competition.
Just out of
Oh,
loyalty
yeah.
to Spectracide?
Yeah. We joked about it a little bit, but deep down I was like, I'd like to tear down this guy's display.
Yeah.
And if Scott's was the number one, is this a little bit like a David and Goliath situation?
Yeah, for sure. Except in this, David is not like a righteous man. Spectracide it's still a bad company. It's like almost like a Goliath and like a little Goliath.
Enjoy my son. Thank you. Birmingham.
That was not my dad. So it is my dad, and it's wonderful that he's with me. This was my Mother's Day present to my mom. I took my dad. I got him today. I had him all weekend. Tomorrow, I'll send him back Monday. She's like, this is the best present you've ever given me in my life.
Put your hands together and give it up for Nate Bargatze!
When you're up here and you feel the crowd, can you describe that, what that's like?
I mean, it's insane. You don't really get used to this. I mean, I'll be up here and I'm thinking like, I can't believe I'm standing here.
I'm here to land it.
As you're up there, you're like, they can't be here to see me. Like, all right, this is it.
When comedian Nate Bargatze takes the stage,
He doesn't just want to make audiences laugh.
I want to make them laugh so hard that they are crying or they have to pull the car over. People always talk to me very easy too, and I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, you know? And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I mean, I'm listening. And he goes, all right, I don't feel like you could have been anywhere, you know? When I can hear in the audience, I can hear them like they're not being able to breathe, and you're like, man, it's the most rewarding sound you can have as a stand-up.
Here we go.
Cicada killer wasp also come out. They come out also under the ground, and they emerge in June, and they paralyze the cicadas with their venomous sting, and then they take them to their offspring. And
I picture they walk out like,
You were like, oh, more cicadas.
like it's a march.
Yeah.
And they come out, and then it's like a Star Wars door opens, and they're like, beep, 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 beep. What is like 1949? What would that be in Roman numerals?
MCMXLIX.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. So, can you imagine, like, I mean, it would be, someone goes, when's your birthday? You're like, oh, good. You know, they goes, yeah, someone just write your birthday down. You're like, yeah, I don't think you didn't have it memorized. They all look like the code you got to put in to prove you're not a robot or something.
Yeah.
Like that's what all these, you know.
It's your Wi-Fi password.
Yeah,
It's like CAPTCHA.
Yeah, it's like CAPTCHA is all. And you're like, what are you talking about? He goes, I was born in 1949. And you're like, just say that.
Dusty and I were in Duluth, Minnesota. We went to the Great Lakes Aquarium.
I drove up to Duluth, Minnesota one time, and I went to this aquarium. I don't know if you've been there before. I don't know if I'd go just for the aquarium, but if you're up there, check it out.
So we saw some fish in there that looked like they might be dead, right?
Yeah.
So Dusty and I are chatting. We're like, maybe these fish, maybe they're asleep. And then we're like, do fish even sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky for us, there's a girl standing near us.
With a name tag on, it said fish expert.
Fish expert.
And the name tag has her name, and then it says fish expert. I was like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I don't run into a lot of fish experts out here in the world, and I thought this is a great time to get some answers to some of the fish questions that I have. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we walk up and we say, random question, do fish sleep?
That's what I said to her. I said, do fish sleep? And she looked me straight in the face, and she goes, I don't know, because I don't work here at night.
Dead serious. Too.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, okay.
That's one of the best answers I've ever heard.
Yeah.
you can sleep standing up. It's very hard, but some soldiers on nighttime sentry duty, whatever that is, have trained themselves to sleep.
Sure, it's a little more serious than just saying whatever that is.
Whatever nonsense they're getting into.
Yeah.
World War II, whatever that is.
Look at this AI generated answer. It's the duty of serving as a sentry.
Oh, there's
Sentry duty is the duty of serving as a sentry, which is a soldier who stations to prevent it.
Did you ask for AI to be in there?
Read that last sentence.
For example, teachers may be deployed as sentries at border points to check for illegal transportation of poultry. so look, AI has its limitations.
Yeah.
We got teachers checking for illegal poultry?
Yeah. Do we not ask enough of teachers?
Yeah.
Because I got detention duty. What are you doing? I gotta go look for illegal chickens at the
chicken
border.
legal?
At the county border. And just go there. It's hey, I think AI, they go, it's the gist. Yeah, we were out this weekend. We had a wonderful weekend.
one injury, Eric.
Yeah, we had an
Tumble.
injury. Eric twisted an ankle, another ankle. And I mean, dude, his ankle is big.
We got the video of Eric's injury right here if we want to watch it.
Yeah, you can.
There he goes. Oh, right there.
Right there.
Nate finishes his shot.
Yeah. Oh, and I missed it. That's
And then
How did that happen?
Oh, dude.
tripping
Yeah.
for a phantom.
What did that even do? What did he do?
I don't know. That's he just goes down
So bad to laugh at.
pretty hard. I know.
It's
We go.
Dude, right there.
so bad. I feel so bad laughing.
If you're listening, Eric's his trainer.
Yeah. There's my trainer.
Look at his legs right there.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool dance move.
Right there, dude.
Boat like right next to us, and my wife was like, "Oh, that's my," you know. She was just basically like, "You having fun?" Because I like to put a stop to that. Impressed with birth. The big message they tell you, they're like, "All right, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby." That's the number one goal. And they tell it to you almost like, obviously you're going to want to shake the baby, but it would be just so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. And then I watched a video of a guy, and he was like, "Here's what I do when I feel like I want to shake my baby. I take walks, you know. I walk about 70 miles a day. I walk a lot. I've barely seen this baby." And then I signed a certificate like I was in kindergarten that said, "All right, I'm not going to shake the baby." They quit asking me. I didn't even think of it till you guys brought it up. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. Like, that's all we talked about for 3 days. And the first night we got her home, I remember she was like crying for like 6 hours, and you're like delirious and confused. And I was like with my wife, and I was like, "Wait, are we supposed to shake this baby?" I still want to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, "Do you want to do Christmas in my dorm room?" There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone, but I would say, "Do you have ketchup?" He'd be like, "I'm not that gone, man." My parents have a real fat cat. People point it out, you know? They walk in, they're like, "Man, that cat's fat." And it feels rude, you know? Like, he doesn't speak English, but we do, so maybe don't say that. And they're just, you know, they're like, "What are y'all feeding this cat?" You're like, "Whatever you feed a cat, dude. I don't, like normal cat food stuff. We pour a bowl." And then they're like, "Well, y'all should do something." You're like, "What do you think we're not doing? Do you think he has a gym membership and we don't drive him to the gym? He's a cat. That's his gym membership. He's a cat." I watched him jump from the ground on top of the refrigerator. That's like if I jumped on top of a school bus from the ground. Like, if I did that, you're not going to be like, "Well, you still could lose a little bit, you know? Just keep doing what you..." I slept in a bunk bed. I was on the top bunk, and I would get over a railing and just fall 6 feet to the ground and just land. I mean, you don't catch yourself. It's just whatever hits first. All your body weight just lands on your head. I got a full-blown concussion. I'm crying. My parents are like, "Just go back to a deep sleep for 7 hours." I've had 3 concussions in my life, and none of them because of sports. Just living life, man, you know? Stuff happens to your head. What are you going to do? The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas are the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big, dumb eyes, and he goes, "Just so you know, llamas can't talk, though." I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, "I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it." Like, I'm just at the zoo talking to the giraffes, just, "Hey, where are you guys from, you know? I know where you're from, but where are you from? You know what I mean?" So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40. It just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And for some reason, when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, "Remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, "I wasn't born yet." You're like, "Golly, are you serious, dude?" In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. One thing I got when I hit my 40s was claustrophobia. Never had it. Actually got it here on the Simpsons ride, which is what's crazy. I mean, we're 100 yards away from where my life fell apart. I rode that ride with my daughter, and we're sitting on it, and we had another buddy, and he has his 2 girls on, and so we sit there, and they pull the bar down, and the bar, my leg gets stuck in the middle, and it just opened a door that I never knew was there. I mean, it's like a problem. I had to stop the ride. It's super embarrassing to stop a child's ride and just be like, I'm just waving. I'm like, I can't do it. And then they opened the bar and they go, all right, you can do it again. I was like, I'm out, dude. And no one got to ride it because I couldn't ride it. We all had to leave. Ruined it for everybody. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. It's what's funny, the panic of claustrophobia is pretty funny though. I mean, it's not funny when it's happening to you, but how quick you go from normal to just an insane person it's all at the same time. So it's all kind of new to me, so I forget I have it. And I'll put myself in a situation and I go, there it is. I got an Uber once with like 7 people. And so we get in, I'll get in the 3rd row trying to be a good guy. And I climb in the back, they put all the seats up and it just starts hitting me. And I mean, I'm back there, you're like, just trying to be normal, you're not talking. And then you just go, hey, you think you could roll the window down? You know what? Can everybody just get out of the van real fast? I mean, we're just driving down the interstate. Hey, could y'all crack the window? Do you mind if I drive the Uber? Do you think I can drive it?
I think I have to say that throughout the whole thing. My name's Nate. It might be hard to understand me at some times. I'm from New York City. I'm just kidding, I'm from Nashville. I wear this shirt for a couple of reasons. So if I get questions like that, they're like, oh, Nashville, okay. If people come in late, they know. They don't have to interrupt us by asking. They'll just read my shirt. If they can't figure that out, then they're probably from Nashville too. They probably have the same shirt. I also wear it in case I get lost. People know where to send me. It's kind of like a dog leash. I got my name and number written in the back. So you can always find me if you see me laying on the street. Just send me back to Nashville. I'll be good. One thing I've noticed since living here in Chicago is the directions that you get from so many people. Y'all use the compass a lot here, as I understand it. First time I moved up here, I'm like, how do you go to the store? They're like, go north 5 blocks, then go south 3. All right. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know which way is north or south or east, or do I left or right or straight, or I didn't bring my compass today. And it's so confusing because the one thing they taught me was like, just remember, the lake's always east. I can't always see the lake. How do you know? And people ask me, because you see someone, this is another reason I wear this shirt, because don't ask me for directions. But people will ask me. They'll be like, hey, I need to, get here. And I'm like, the lake's east. Easy throws them off and they just leave it. And I keep going and wandering around the city with my compass. Another thing here is my only phone here is a cell phone. Cell phones are about ridiculous. The signal on a cell phone, does it ever work? Because there's really never, the one time I get a full signal, if you do this, you're done. You're out. Your signal's gone. You have nothing else left. I got quite a few places that Verizon guy can go, and he ain't gonna be able to hear when he says, can you hear me now? Like my house. Come to my house. Come outside my house. Walk down the street. I can be standing in the middle of the ditch, and I'm sure I would still be like, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? And I hope I never get hurt and have to call 911, because I'm screwed. Or if someone breaks in my house, And I have to climb under my bed. I'm like, hey, there's a guy in the house. And they're like, sir, are you there? And I gotta kind of scoot over. There's a guy in the house. Hello? And in my house, there's a guy. Until I have to crawl out, and I just get killed. Then I'm bleeding, having to roll around with a knife in my back. I need an ambulance. What? I need an ambulance? If you don't mind, please. I don't know if this has to do with that, but what's the age where you're not scared of the dark? Because I don't know if I've hit it yet. This is why I'm standing in this little circle right here. If I go outside of it, I'm screwed. I'll never make it back. This is the only thing that I figured out. The age and the point to where you do it, or how you stop being scared of the dark, is you get married. And that's so you can have someone share your bed with you. So the monster now has got to decide between one of you. You might have a chance. And then the reason you have kids is so you pass them along to him, and then he leaves you alone the rest of the day. And then you're okay. And the thing about, when you were a kid, you were so scared of the dark, and you just hated it. Unless there's one other kid in there. Then if you had a friend over, then it's 2 8-year-old kids in the bed, and you're like, I'm feeling okay. Like the monster's down there going, Fred, Johnny's got someone to spend the night tonight. I don't know if I'd go up there. That's 2 8-year-old kids you gotta mess with. It's probably not a good idea. Heard his parents are divorced though, so let's go after his dad. A game you used to play also when you're a kid is hide and seek, hide and go seek. I think that is a very, very fun game. I don't think it gets taken seriously enough though. Maybe when you were 10, when you would break your ankle to hide in the dryer so nobody could find you. And when you'd get those good spots where you'd be there for a good hour or so. And then you're like, I don't know if this is either a great, and you don't want to leave because it's a great spot. What if he sees you leaving? You can never go back. That's the dryer. Who thinks of the dryer? I thought of the dryer. I'm a genius. So then you got to go up there, and he's already quit. He quit 2 hours ago. He's like, I couldn't find you. I looked for a little bit. The Easter was just recently, and speaking of hiding, they had an Easter egg hunt, and the thing is now is when they hide the Easter egg, they just throw them out on the grass. It's not game is because I guess they want everybody to find an egg, make everybody happy. And that's not how I did it. My dad would hide them on the roof. You'd be mowing the grass in August and run over an egg and be like, there it is. I found it. You climb trees, fall down and break the leg, get up, and you still had it. And then you'd open it, and it was the money egg, and it was worth everything, with $5 in it, and that's all you needed. Holidays are great, too. I remember the first time I met the Easter Bunny. He pulled up in my dad's car with his seatbelt on. My dad picked him up, I guess. He was about 6'5". I was wondering, I was like, that's a tall Easter Bunny. It's not what you think. I don't see how he snuck in my house. Santa Claus also is someone that you're like, I don't remember asking Santa for socks. Where did he get that idea? Socks and a toothbrush. He's wasting 2 good presents on socks and a toothbrush. Did my mom talk to him when I left? Because I don't remember saying that. And then, then you gotta go through the opening the presents and everything, and that's an awkward moment when you gotta open presents. You don't know the reaction you're supposed to give, especially when they're like, go ahead and open it now, we're gonna watch you. And then you gotta open it, whether you like, are you supposed to jump up and just, woo! And just start running around the room? I can't believe you got this. This is unbelievable. You're so happy, there's not any good reaction. If it is a terrible present, you're like, yeah, all right, thank you. And if, that joke went well, didn't it? Should probably work on that one. I got another little story is, my family, they used to give, my mom's side of the family would give everybody the same present. That was just, everybody would get the exact same present. And my dad was actually telling me this story, because he was, before I was born. And he said that we have 2 people in our family and they're deaf. Well, this is the year when smoke alarms came out. So they got 2 smoke alarms. 2 deaf people got 2 smoke alarms. They didn't think about that, It's not a Braille smoke alarm either, where you walk by. It beeps real loud. So, and their house burnt down a couple of days later. I guess they didn't get the batteries in there right or something. Well, that is my time, and I'm Nate. Thank you.
It's great having a kid. I've been married for 7 years, and so now we just have a 1-year-old daughter. So it's getting pretty serious, and this is what took it over the edge. We were living in New York when my daughter was to be born, but I'm from Tennessee, so we flew home, and my daughter was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start. All right. How about that? It was wild. Does anybody have kids here? Or a couple? One person. All right. The rest is like, when I die, this city dies. All right. It's wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, I told my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to see anything. All right. It's going to be gross. I wish it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now, doctors are like, do you want to deliver the baby? Why don't you do most of it? They just pull the baby out, and then they just tell you, they're here, cut the umbilical cord. They just tell you to do it real fast. I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part, and they were like, that's not right. I was like, oh, maybe, you should jump in. You did go to doctor school for this. I don't know why I'm doing minor surgery right now. Then they just hand you your baby, and they're like, all right, we'll see ya. And that's when you're like, I'd really like your help now. I need you to live with me or something like that. The first question I asked, they should have probably kept, I was holding her, I was like, how much do you feed it? I bet it's a lot. It seems like it'd be a lot. It sounded like I was buying a hamster at a pet store. The big thing they tell you, the number one thing they say, they're really big on they're like, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby. That's the number one goal. And they tell it to you, they're almost obviously you're going to want to shake the baby. But it would be so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. That would be the best. And then they showed me a video of a guy that's here's what I do instead of shaking my baby. He was I take walks, for instance. I walk 70 miles a day or something. I walk a lot. Then I signed a certificate I was in kindergarten that said, all right, I promise, I swear to God I won't shake the baby. Quit asking me about this. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. That's all we talked about. And the first night we got her home, she was like, you know, you're like delirious. You're just confused and tired. And she was like crying for like 6 hours. And I was like sitting there, I was like, wait, are we supposed to shake this baby? Like, is this when we do it? This seems like when you would do it. But we didn't, we didn't shake her, so it's cool. We have rocked her aggressively, but there's been... She had to go, went to the doctor to get, like, when she was 9 months old, you have to do, like, a 9-month-old checkup. So we go to the doctor, and she has to get a shot. And it's, like, the worst, like, when babies get shots, because they don't know what's going on. Like, she's just looking at us being like, this day's going unbelievable. Like, I don't see what could go wrong, you know? What could go wrong? Why would anything go wrong? And then you're looking at her like it's about to all go wrong. You don't even sort of understand how wrong it's going to be. So she gets the shot, so we go to grab her, you know, because we're going to hold her and console her. But she doesn't cry. She's just fine with the shot. And, like, we're just sitting there, like, the doctor's surprised. Like, my wife's like, maybe this is a sign that she's going to be, like, a powerful woman, you know, like a strong girl. And I was like, maybe. We should also see if she's going to be a psycho. Like, who doesn't cry when they get a shot? Maybe that's what we should look into. That doesn't make you nervous? I would cry if you gave me a shot. She's already fine with pain at 9 months old. Like, in 20 years, I'm either going to be telling her, like, look, we love you so much, and we're happy that you've accomplished everything. Or I will be on the news going, we love you, but you need to turn yourself in right now. Just do the right thing. Once, all the way in it. We went in it. There's a few more people than this. We go in, let's say like you guys are like the inmates. So I'm like sitting here, I'm doing my dumb jokes. None of them work. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Like nothing's relatable. I'm like, traffic's crazy. Do you guys remember? Who remembers traffic? An inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, like I've seen movies, like he's gonna use me to break out. So I don't want to point at him, you know, but I am trying to draw. I'm like, the weather's been like pretty crazy. Should he be walking up like that? Turns out he's just going to the bathrooms. They're right behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. So now we are basically at Mount Rainier. Millennial or Generation X. I've never even really heard any of those terms growing up. And now you hear them all the time. So I looked it up to try to see, I was like, what am I? And I'm technically nothing. I'm on a cusp. I'm a generation gap. And what we are called Zennials, or we're called the Oregon Trail Generation, or we are called, my favorite name is the Lucky Ones. And it's true, we're very lucky. We actually grew up in two different worlds. When I was a kid, I grew up like it was the 50s. Like you would go outside and your parents just didn't know where you were. We went to school and played Oregon Trail on a computer at school. No one had a computer at home. It's like, what are you, a zillionaire? Like, I mean, you could. But then in high school, I had AOL. You know, we had a computer at home. Then I got a beeper. And then I got a cell phone. I didn't have social media until I was 26 with MySpace. You know, I mean, social media, like, whatever I did in high school is a rumor. It can't ruin my life. So if you're around my age, you might realize, like, you just end up always kind of being in the middle. Like, I understand when Gen Xer says something, you're like, I get it. And Millennial says something, you're like, no, I get it. You always just feel in the middle. And these groups all hate each other. And the most I've ever felt where I was in the middle was just this one hotel that I stayed at. So a lot of hotels now, they have Chromecast, and you can watch like Netflix in your hotel room. So I get in my room and I turn it on and my Chromecast is not working. So I call down to the front desk and the oldest voice I ever heard answered the phone. This guy was a Civil War survivor. I mean, he was the age where you just go, thank you for your service. And it's like, was in the Army? You're like, probably, man. I mean, there's an age where like they all had to go at that age, so just say it. So I tell him, I go, hey, my Chromecast is not working. And I could have just made up a word. I mean, he's never heard of that. I could have said my beat bop broke. I mean, he asked if I was staying at that hotel. That's how he goes, are you staying here? I was like, do you think I've called the front desk from a different hotel room? He goes, look, I don't know what this is, but there's a younger guy here. I'm going to send him up. He'll be able to help you. And I was like, great. So that guy comes up, and he knocks on my door. I open it. He's my dad's age. And I mean, right when I see him, you're like, all right, dude, we don't have to do this. You know, I mean, I know you've heard of it, but you're not, if I can't fix it, you're not going to be able to fix it. But he's the generation that still wants to give it a try. So I got to let him in. So he comes in my room, sits on my bed, a little too far back, I thought. I just remember like the back of his calves were touching the bed. And I was like, are your feet dangling? How far back are you going to go? Are you cold? Do you want some covers, man? He gets the remote and just starts pressing all the buttons. And I said, I don't know if that's going to do it. And he goes, let's just keep trying it, though. I go, all right. I'm going to turn the shower on, open a window. Let's try everything. You know, let's just see. Maybe it turns on. Who knows? Maybe it's all connected. So we can't get it. And he goes, all right. He goes, there's a younger guy. He's about to come to work. And at this point, I'm like, I'm the younger guy, man. I was like, it's all right, dude. I don't need it. And he goes, no, it's a millennial. And I was like, all right. Now we're getting somewhere, you know? This is what the millennial does. He was born with technology. He's going to know how to fix this. I was excited. I was like, great. He goes, he comes to work in an hour. I go, wonderful. And let me tell you, you know how quick that millennial fixed it? Well, I'll never know because he just didn't come to work that night. So, and I found out because the old guy called me because he was supposed to fill in for him. He was furious, dude. He hates that millennial. He goes, he never comes to work. He doesn't take it serious. He's got a peanut allergy. And I was like, all right, well, I ended up fixing it myself because it was just unplugged. So that's my fault. 43, you still think you're young. I have this jacket on. I'll hang out with a 23-year-old and I'm like, you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. Some guy will walk up, he's like, I'm 45. I'm like, why don't you beat it, old man? I can't believe that guy had the nerve to think he was our age, right, dude? That's crazy. Let's go sit down for a little bit. Doctor, it was the first time I've ever been talked to old. It was just me and the doctor. And he looks at me and he just goes, do you pee a lot at night? So my dad goes to the doctor and they were like, do you use Afrin? And he goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years, which is a lie. But my mom was there and she goes, how about 45 years? That's how long he's used it, 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days. There's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. She runs everything because she knows everything. Like, I don't know any stuff. Like, I don't know how much money we have. Like, could not even ballpark it. I don't even know where it's at. And I wouldn't even know how to get it if I had to get it. What bank we go to? I don't know. Like, you know, I can't get robbed because, like, if some guy's like, let's go to the ATM, you know, it's like, well, I guess we gotta wait for my wife to get here. She can't leave me because I wouldn't know how to get stuff, you know? Like, she can't even die. If she starts dying, I'll die so much faster than her because I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have to call her mom and be like, hey, did she ever bring up bank stuff to you at all? Did you ever talk about that? Or what did she do for a living? Do you know? What was her deal? I had a hard time. I went to community college for 1 year. I have 0 credits. Community college, we're just going to show you the ropes around town, kind of give you a lay of the land. Everybody in there was like 50. I'm like, well, who's the teacher? Our daughter is in 3rd grade, and for 1st grade, she started taking the bus, and it was the first time she ever took the bus. So if you know as a parent, you walk them to the bus stop, it's very fun. And so we got her on the bus. She went to school. At the end of the school day, someone from the school called my cell phone. They have my wife's cell phone, they have my cell phone. They called my cell phone, and she said, hey, do you know what bus number your daughter's supposed to be on? And I said, I'm her dad. As in, are you crazy? Like, I was like, this is how you thought you would get this information, was to call the dad? You saw a mom and dad's cell phone. You go, I bet the dad knows. I was like, do you have parents? Have you ever seen a family before? You thought, let's call the husband? Unless there's 2 husbands, you should never call a husband a day in your life. I would rather you ask a lady that doesn't know her. I think she could get to the bottom of it quicker than I can. I had to go get her. I go, all right, I'll come get her. Tell me the name of this school and I'll come get her. Where does she go? A lot of kids, when you pack lunches now, you got to be careful because a lot of kids have peanut allergies now. And our daughter actually has cashew allergy with tree nuts. And so I don't know what tree nuts are, but it could kill my daughter. The doctor just goes, can't have tree nuts, and that's it. He left. And I was like, we'd love to know. I don't know where nuts came from, but apparently they come from 2 different places. And one of them's a tree. I feel bad. I'm here. Look, I want to defend all these kids with peanut allergies. I don't think they get defended. They get yelled at by adults. We got a lot of adults addicted to peanuts in this country, and they're furious. I haven't had peanuts in forever. You could take peanuts out of my life. I don't think I would notice. And we just have adults are yelling at these children like they chose it. Like when they were born, the doctor goes, "Hey, do you want to be a nightmare to everybody?" Every scenario is life and death. You ever been on a plane? They just announce it. These planes just serve pretzels and be done with it. But they try every flight. If they can't, they just go, all right, everybody, can't have peanuts today because that loser kid right there. And these grown-ups are booing them. I mean, the reason I'm on the flight is for the peanuts. I don't even know where it's going. The guy, we don't have any of that. What do we play Fort? You got to keep everybody out of where you are, especially girls. The only toys we had were Transformers and Ninja Turtles. Those are not even real things. None of them had wives. They weren't married. I never played with my Ninja Turtles, and I had them going to fight Shredder. And then Michelangelo was like, hey, can y'all give me 2 seconds? My wife just showed up, and she looks furious about something. What do you want from me? And she's like, what are y'all doing? What's that April skank doing here? You're like, listen, she's a reporter. My name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. You can't just change it. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. I feel just always like near, especially about home now. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm gonna paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in, and that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m., and I would bet my life a light would cut on, and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. I tried to, I'm always like trying to lose weight. I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I gotta get it together. I go to the trunk of my car and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn, I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry, honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean, we could both have a word with him. We're at a Holiday Inn Express. So the breakfast buffet there is where they have the cereal where you turn the knob and like 4 pieces fall out. It's like how you feed a cat for a long weekend, you know? That's enough. They had batter and syrup. And so they had the waffle iron where you make it yourself. So you pour the batter on the waffle iron, you shut it, you turn it over, it locks, it cooks for 2 minutes, you turn it over, you open it, half the waffle comes off, half stays forever. That's how you eat a waffle. So I'm with my buddy of mine that's my age. So we go through, he's in front of me, not really talking or anything, just going through. He gets to it, it's batter and syrup, they're in clear containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the waffle iron. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, you're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, yeah, what is that gonna be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Just, I mean, dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen this. So they threw the waffle iron. They just throw it away. That's what they have to do. Just throw it away. It's over. And now there's no waffle. I mean, we went from all about to get a waffle to it's upside down in a trash can. And then he just turns and looks, and it's just a line of people with that little foam plate. And just everybody's sad. I just hear someone in the back go like, I set my alarm for this. I mean, 2 guys didn't have shoes on. They go, I ran down with no shoes in that elevator. I thought I was gonna miss it. I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know? I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? I went to career day for my daughter's school, and I get what I do is very fun. But I was nervous because I'm there with real people and they're smart. And so I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose. Almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. So the kids like come up, and they're like, what subjects do you use for comedy? And I don't even know what the subjects they're taking. I was like, I do English. I do mostly English on stage. They asked him, how long do you go to school to be a surgeon? And he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like and they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now. So, look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after it. So I'm 41 years old. And when I turned 40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40. It just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And for some reason, when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. Yeah, I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age. They did a thing on 60 Minutes about, like, do you know you can buy a tiger here? Like, if you guys want to buy a tiger tonight, I could get you in touch with someone that does have tigers. I don't know if I can. You can buy a tiger here in the U.S. They did an undercover, reporting on it. And my favorite part was they asked the guy that sells tigers, they were like, so do you think it's too easy to buy a tiger in this country? And the guy was like, yeah, it's way too easy. And you know what? That's why America's the best, all right? I didn't even know you could buy tigers. I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I come and find out I don't really have to jump through hoops if I do want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing, it's like an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to take away guns. It's like we gotta get everybody's guns. But then that makes me nervous because I think if you take away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And that's a much bigger problem, all right? You're probably gonna be like, look, here's your gun back. And they'll be like, no, I'm good, dude. My tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, it's just for a second, you know? Like, it's never, like, if the guy dodges, he's like, you dumb tiger missed. It's like, I mean, it did not. It is right behind you now. Yeah, he's pissed about it. So, I do zero working out. Not even, I mean, it's not like you're like, whoa, wow. Like, it's like, yeah, we figured that. Every hotel I go to, I ask if they have a gym. I don't even have clothes that I could work out in. There's no way. I'm like, is it 24 hours? I was going to start tonight at midnight. So I was wondering if that's... What I've learned, what's easier than working out is just tell people that you used to weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot. They don't know, you know? So I've never weighed 300 pounds, but I look pretty amazing for a guy that used to weigh 300 pounds. You're like, yeah, I got tired of being tired, all right, you know? Today's my cheat day, obviously, but normally I'm pretty strict. My parents are in their 60s, and when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. Look, to be honest, I've never taken care of the one dog we have, but two would be fun. Our dog sleeps in our bed, and someone told me you're not supposed to do that because you lose dominance over the dog. And I asked him, I said, what year do you think it is? These are all doodles. They're barely dogs. It's a person. They're people. This guy acts like it's 1980 when you kept the dog outside all year. Those you needed dominance over. You had a wolf in the backyard. Friends come over, you want to go outside? I wouldn't. I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? Nick's a little person, very fun. We started a comedy together. He, very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog. And Nick just goes, hey, you think that's a wolf? And I just said, yeah, I do think it's a wolf. They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, should I go ask him about it? I was like, absolutely, you know? He wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here. And I watched him walk over to him and just go, excuse me, is that a wolf? And the guy, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, what? You think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop? And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? When we were doing these driving shows, we were all on a bus together. I convinced Nick that I didn't know who Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding were. Nick is learning this, that I do know who they are. He's learning right now with you. I never told him. I absolutely know who they are. He brought all his references are just 90s sports references. He only can reference the 90s. And so he brings up Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding, and I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "What? You don't know who they are?" And I was like, I don't think anybody knows who they are." And he goes, "Dude, this is like a huge story. It's like figure skating is like a mafia hit." I was like, "I've never heard this, dude. Don't you think I would have heard it?" I mean, I was like, "No one knows this." He's like, he's losing his mind. I go, "They should make a 30 for 30 if it's that good." He goes, "They did." Another guy's like, "They should make a movie about it." He goes, "There's a movie." And he's just losing it. I go to get my phone to get another flight, and I've lost my phone. The night before, I lost it. So now I don't have my phone. So I have to go buy a ticket over the counter like it's the 50s. And when you walk up to a counter, they don't expect you to be buying a ticket like that. I got up there, and they were like, "All right." I was like, "I would like one ticket to Austin, Texas, please." And they said, "All right, go buy it, and don't be weird about it." I go, "No, I'd like to write a check to you for one ticket to Austin, Texas." And they didn't have a flight, so I have to do that at every terminal. I just have to keep going. "One ticket to Austin, Texas, please." I finally found a flight, but the girl behind the counter, she's never sold a ticket like that. She's like, "I've worked here for 10 years and no one's ever done this." Someone gave me an Under Armour shirt. Do you know those? It's like skin tight. Like it just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. You know, like in plastic surgery, how they draw like markers on you and stuff? Like they should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see where we're gonna go after the target areas. I always tell people I gotta get back in shape, but I mean, I've never been in shape. So doctors are so unimpressed with birth. The big message they tell you, they're like, "All right, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby." That's the number one goal. And they tell it to you almost like, obviously you're gonna wanna shake the baby, but it would be just so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. And then I watched a video of a guy, and he was like, "Here's what I do when I feel like I wanna shake my baby. I take walks, you know, I walk about 70 miles a day. I walk a lot. I've barely seen this baby." And then I signed a certificate like I was in kindergarten that said, "All right, I'm not gonna shake the baby." They quit asking me. I didn't even think of it till you guys brought it up. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. Like that's all we talked about for 3 days. And the first night we got her home, I remember she was like crying for like 6 hours, and you're like delirious and confused. And I was like with my wife, and I was like, "Wait, are we supposed to shake this baby?" Like the job I had, the job I will go back to when all this falls apart. I was a water meter reader. The title was the description of what you do. If you're old enough, you remember when 9/11 happened, the whole country got very scared that there's gonna be more attacks. Well, we did as well in Wilson County. They just went to New York, obvious next stop, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. And they are gonna poison our town's water. So they got all of us water meter readers, stood just in a dark field, alone, waiting for the Taliban to show up. No weapons, no training. They gave us a lantern that does nothing but shows your body as you hold it up. I can't see 2 feet in front of me. If someone's got a gun, they're like, "Just shoot at the only light in that field." I'm gonna put it over my heart to see. I'm like, what's going on? If I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, "We can't change it." And you're like, "Then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, you know? If you can't do it, who can do it? I mean, is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets brought up. Once I was checking a bag, And the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point because, I mean, he can't handle that. He's gonna call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I can't believe you've made it this far. I was like, let me just try it, you know? Shouldn't I try it? I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is gonna help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through. 43, you still think you're young. I have this jacket on. I'll hang out with a 23-year-old and I'm like, you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. Some guy will walk up, he's like, I'm 45. I'm like, why don't you beat it, old man? I can't believe that guy had the nerve to think he was our age, right, dude? That's crazy. Let's go sit down for a little bit. Doctor visits change. I had to get a physical. I mean, before 40, you don't even go inside. It's like a drive-in window. You just move your neck, and he's like, come on, dude, you're wasting everybody's time, all right? It was the first time I've ever been talked to old. It was just me and the doctor, and he looks at me, and he just goes, do you pee a lot at night? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, did my dad just walk in the room? How old do you think I am? I've never peed at night in my life. How about that? But since you brought it up, what is a lot? What is a big amount? My dad is a magician. He's done that my entire life. He was a clown at the very beginning, just in case you're like, how do you get into something like that? He goes clown and magic. There's 2 steps. You can take them in either order. I was born, he was a clown. It was never weird to me. I thought everybody's dad was a clown. My first memory of my life is I was 5 years old, and I remember my mom walked me out to the front yard, and my dad pulled up with this old red Mazda. He's dressed as a clown. That doesn't even faze me. That's just how he left. How else would he come home? And the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat. That's the first thing that I remember to my life. If you want to know how you get into comedy, that's a pretty good nudge. And I remember it didn't fit, the Easter Bunny head didn't fit in the car, like he couldn't sit normal, so his head was bent to the side. And I remember he had his seatbelt on, and he's just like, and I was like, I like to think about all the other people that saw that, just in the car next to him, just at a red light, you're like, I didn't even know they hung out like that. This old man walks up to me and goes, Olivia? He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on at a car that he does not recognize. None of this is enough to not make him say it. He was like, Olivia? I covered up and I was like, what's that? And he was like, all right, honest mistake. I was like, God, that hurts worse than saying Olivia. I don't know who he offended more, me or Olivia. I think we could both have a word with him. I'd love to meet her. Inside a building, that's all you want, you know? One of the last kind of bombs I had, I was doing it. So as comedians, we do a lot of corporate events, and I was doing this corporate event in Tampa, Florida, and it was for this guy. He ran Tampa's electricity or something. I don't know what anybody does, but he invented the electricity in Florida. So yeah, he's doing real good. He was a very nice guy. He's very generous. He was all his employees. He was raffling off 2 cars. He gave away a bunch of TVs, iPads. I mean, honestly, probably $100,000 worth of gifts he was giving back to his employees. Very nice. Well, I was one of these gifts that he was giving back. So in the middle of giving this stuff away, he stops and goes, all right, got a big surprise for you. Can't believe we got this guy to come here. And he brings me out. I mean, nobody's heard of me at all. I mean, they're all looking at it like, I think I could get this guy to come to my house. I mean, who is? I start doing my act. I do 1 hour and just 0 laughs. I mean, nothing. And I'm not doing new jokes. I'm doing the greatest hits. I told the iced coffee with milk story 3 times. I kept just doing it. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it one more time. I don't think y'all were listening. People were leaving. The guy that drove me asked someone that left, and he just goes, hey, is the comedy show almost over? And the guy goes, I don't even know what you're talking about. There's a guy giving a speech up there right now, so maybe after that. So we get done, and then the guy comes up. You know, I have to talk to him. And I was like, look, I'm sorry, man. I used to be able to do comedy, and I lost it. You know, it's over. And he was very nice. He goes, no, it's all right. Nothing's your fault. And I was like, all right, I don't know how that's possible. And he goes, well, when you were up there, I remembered that most of my employees do not speak English. And I was like, all right, yeah, they'll do it, you know. Maybe don't hire an English-only speaking comedian. No heads up at all. Not that I could have changed it up, but it just would have been nice to know, you know. All seriousness, though, global warming, we gotta stop it. Or more of it. I don't really know which way we want to go, but it can't stay warmer. I know that. It's got to be one or, you know, something's got to happen. Something can't stay where we're at. So go, I don't know what direction you want me to just go. Let's use this as a platform for global, guys. I felt like, you know, as a spokesperson for all of Earth, all right, I think I'll give you a message that I don't think no one will give you. And I'm here to say that we're doing fine. So just relax. We're doing great, all right? I did some research. And I was like, let me look at the other planets. Let's see how good they're doing. And I don't want to, I mean, it's unbelievable. They're nowhere right now. I went up to this guy and I was like, hey man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong, because you know what it is. And I was like, is it Hammett with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? I was like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? I travel all the time. And if I fly Delta, if I buy a ticket through Delta's system, my name in their system is Nathan. And on my license, my name is Nathaniel. I do not remember making this decision. It's a big deal. You can't just change it. I've tried. I've asked Delta if they could change it, and they're like, we can't change it. And you're like, then I don't know. I don't know where we go from here, you know? If you can't do it, who can do it? I mean, is that why people call senators? Do they do it? I don't know. What you have to do, you have to mail your birth certificate in. Some moms give their children their birth certificates. I've never received mine. I thought I was the proof of my birth. And you got to mail it in. I've never been a big mail it in guy. I've mailed maybe 4 letters my entire life. I just never done it. Stamps make me nervous because I don't know how many you're supposed to put on. Where they're going to be like, you should put 1 more on. And they changed the price of stamps, and that's not in the news, you know. You don't find that out on Twitter. You have to find out from old people. They're the only people that know. They keep up with it. They're like, stamps went up. You're like, okay. All right. Is it $100? Like, they're furious. They're like, is it $100 a stamp? It's 3 more pennies. So I will never go through that process to get my name changed, so I just deal with it. And it gets... My parents are getting older. So my mom, we had her go pick up our daughter recently at a friend's house, and I texted her the address. She drove to the wrong house. So she knocked on the door, and another grandmother answered. Well, this is not good. This is like 2 dogs seeing each other through a fence. They're going to be there for a while, you know? So... My mom, she knocks on the door. My mom goes, "Is my granddaughter in there?" And that lady goes, "I have 3 grandsons, so no solution. Just 2 grandmothers. Just, do you have stuff? I have stuff too." They talked for 30 minutes. It's a wrong door. I had to go get my daughter, then find my mom. I was in San Francisco, and I bet there's a bunch of fun coffee places, and I live in my dumb world that I just want this one little drink. So I go into a Starbucks, and I get to the front, and I was like, "I'll take an iced coffee with cream." She goes, "With cream?" I go, "With cream." And then she goes, "Iced coffee with cream?" I go, "Iced coffee with cream." She goes, "With cream?" I go, "With cream." And she said it one more time. She said, "So iced coffee with cream?" And at that point, I should have said, "What's going on right now? Where are you at in your head?" Because I feel like we're in 2 different places. But I was nervous, and there was people behind me, and I was like, "Cream or no cream? Honestly, I'll give you $20 if you let me leave right now. I cannot, this is the most I can talk about this. I don't even know what's happening anymore." So I paid. I go stand in line, where you got to wait for your drink. There's like 5 of us waiting for our drinks. So she puts the iced coffee up there first, no cream. And I was like, whatever. I'll just do it myself, Like, I don't like doing it myself, but I was like, all right, I'll just do it. So before I could get it, she's walked back with a can of whipped cream, and she's shaking it. And I'm just looking at it, like, thinking that's someone else's. I'm like, someone's getting whipped cream. That's fun. One of you guys are getting whipped cream? And I look down, and she starts spraying the whipped cream on top of my iced coffee. She just yells out, "Iced coffee, whipped cream," yells it out. The other 4 people, they turn their back, like they don't want you to accidentally think that's what they ordered. And I'm just left alone, like, "That's what you thought I said over there? You don't think I would have said iced coffee with whipped cream? You think I'm just some nut job?" It's like, I've had too many problems in this Starbucks, so I'm only going to use the words that I want and no other words. Iced coffee, whipped cream cup. And they didn't have a top for it, so whipped cream, it doesn't sink and become less embarrassing. It moves. It's like a buoy in an ocean that everybody sees. And I'm just walking through the crowd like, this is my favorite drink. I don't know if you guys drink this at all. Is anybody? Nobody does this? I'm surprised. And I walked outside and threw it away and tried again at a different. People always talk to me very easy too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, And so I just get a lot of like, "You still with me, man?" And I'm just sitting there like, "Yeah, man, I'm listening." And he goes, "All right, I don't feel like you could be anywhere." Dumb guy. Just, I don't think it's pretty obvious. And I think, I've thought about like time travel. Like if I went back in time, knowing everything I know now, I don't think I would make a difference. I don't think you would even hear about it. If I went back to the 20s and I like saw some guy on like an old phone, I'd be like, "Hey, eventually they have phones you just carry in your pocket." And he'd be like, "Yeah, how do they do it?" It's like, I mean, I don't know. It's like a satellite or something. And they'd be like, "What's a satellite?" "Well, I shouldn't have even brought that up then. I don't know how they're doing it. It's like a round metal dish or something that's got to go pretty high in the air." I honestly don't think I could prove I'm from the future. I mean, they would want some proof, Who's the next president? Oh, boy. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, "Why is the sun hot?" I'm like, "'Cause it's on fire." It's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, "You better do something." I'm like, "I'm so tired of it. Let's do it." I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming, and I got some pretty good ideas, We recycle, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by my, I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of like, all right, like what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big long list, but the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family, like not the ones that are the good ones, close. Think about how far out it goes. Just when you guys get together, like, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that fight. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, you know? I get it. It's for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? You know? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? We did stuff as a kid. I did Earth Day as a kid. I think they still do Earth Day. And we did it. I'm from Old Hickory, and we were a plant, like DuPont plant we were a plant town. So they had a plant, and we went and planted trees in front of the DuPont plant. And there was just black smoke coming out of this, like, and we're just in front of it, like, this is for Earth. And if you can't even see us, it's so dark. And we're just like, this is for the Earth of stuff, and we're going to breathe better. And you're like, I don't know if that's the problem. I wanted to play college basketball, and that didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year from my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because, yeah, the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, you know. I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah. He is our captain, so. And church ball was a lot different, too, because it was a half court, no three-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they didn't give us a basketball. We didn't have a ball. Like, we would just stand out there and play on honesty. So you'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you for stealing it. It was moral points. Counts later. Silver War, that's how I say it. Instead of civil, I go Silver War. Because, you know, look, that might be on me, all right? I'm not. I tell you, I don't even know anything about the Silver War. I don't know anything about history. And I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know? My dad, too. My dad has surgery 8 times a year, probably. And he loves it. He loves it. He had surgery because he was addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. Look, I've been addicted to Afrin, the nose spray. If you don't know what it is, I would honestly tell you not to get involved. It's one of the best things I've ever been part of. Solves everything immediately. When I was on it too, my wife she'd be like, "What's that?" No, she'd hear one puff. "What's that?" I go, "I ain't gonna live like this. I ain't worked this hard not to do Afrin in my own home." So, my dad goes to the doctor, and they were like, "Do you use Afrin?" And he goes, "No." And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years. But my mom was there and she goes, how about 45 years? 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days.